everybody, how you doing? Well, if this is your first time to the Drum Mission, welcome, welcome.
Hello, I'm Mr. Red.
Have a look around. We got a lot of stuff on here. We got interviews with people like Mark Farner. If you don't know who he is, go find out. Interviews with the band, the rhythm section of Heart. That's the good Heart, not the new Heart. I don't know what I mean by that. All right. We got lots of instructional, and we got several episodes of a show I'm about to give to you now. Now, I don't do too many of these because they're actually kind of expensive, and we're going to talk about that. By the way, it's 82 degrees in here right now because I got the air conditioner turned off as I'm doing this for you. I'm too good. I'm really too good. Let me make sure this mic is where it needs to be. Okay. What are we doing for you today? Oh, man. So this episode of Musicians on Couches Drinking Coffee. An idea I kind of stole from Jerry Seinfeld. There are several other versions of this episode. You got to go look them up. I've done about 2 a year. I wish I could do more because I really like doing these. Yes, I did steal this from Jerry Seinfeld from Comedians in Cars, Drinking Coffee. I don't like Jerry as much as I used to like him. He's kind of a putz now. Anyway, tell him I said that. I don't care. I'm sure it'll hurt him bad. He'll really be hurt. Me, I don't care. All right, never mind. All right, so what are we doing today? We are interviewing one of Detroit's best female vocalists. R&B, blues, rock, you name it. You name it. Her name is Tosha Owens. I'm also interviewing members of her band, of which I kind of am one. I'm not interviewing me. I'm the interviewee. Is that right? I'm going to ask questions. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so this is what you're about to see is 16, 17 minutes or so of a longer 35-minute interview. If you would like to see the longer interview, and she talks about all sorts of stuff. She talks about how she got started, some of her technique, her life, music she likes, all sorts of stuff. We just have it's a really good, fun interview, especially if you are a vocalist in your area, wherever that is, and you're trying to get started. She has some good advice for you. She has some good things to say. You want to watch this. And also, some of the members of her band are around her with her. Jimmy Alter, her guitar player and kind of music director. One of her bass players, David Urachek, and my co-producer. David Urachek, by the way, I want to give a shout out. I could not have done this time without him. He helped me produce this. He runs a studio which he calls Spookadelic Parks Studios. Posting that here. And the email address. If you need him to do studio work or you need him to be your bass player, he can do both and he can do it well. Send an email to that email address. All right. So if you would like to see the longer interview, and it'd be good if you're a fan of Tosha, you want to see the longer interview. So it's not going to be free. I wish I tried for as long as I could to keep everything on this channel as free as possible. But so we're trying something a little bit different today for a very small donation, and that's the key word, a $3 donation. Send it to my PayPal or Venmo account listed somewhere in this frame. Send me an email, also listed here, and say, hey, I just sent you a donation on your PayPal or Venmo for this much. Send me that extended interview. And I will. If you're a fan of Tosha, do it. Why should you do it? Because if you are in this area and you're a fan of Tosha, you want to support Detroit musicians, Detroit artists, so that I can do more of this, so I can do more Musicians on Couches. Instead of twice a year, I can do it 3, 4, 5 times a year. $3. You know, I was just at a club recently that charged me $4.15 for a cup of coffee. So it's less than that. You get 35-minute interview. Plus, In this interview and in that interview, you will see at the end, Tasha and I kind of penned it together. It's an arrangement of I Want You Back from the Jackson 5. Our version is not like the Jackson 5 version at all. It's a really cool version. You're going to like it. And this is the key word, and I would like to do more of that kind of thing. We've done some other stuff in the past. We've done Walking in the Sands. We've done Don't Let Me Down from the Beatles with other artists. We've done some with Tasha as well. If you send me a $5 donation to the same PayPal or Venmo and the same email address saying, hey, I just sent you a donation for that MP3. And then you can put that MP3 on your phone or your iPod or whatever it is that you use. And when you go jogging or you go walking or you're just doing stuff around the house, you can listen to Tosha Owens' version of I Want You Back. All right. Support local music. Support, and this is how you can do it. So, I can do more of it. They're expensive. Okay. So, Tosha Owens, I don't know the number. It's high. It's like 19, 20, 21, maybe 1,000 Detroit Music Awards this girl has won. Without any further ado, stay to the end. This version is only about 20 minutes long. You're going to have a great time. Stay to see the song. You're going to love the song. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tosha Owens interview. Musicians on couches drinking coffee. This is another drum mission first. Because this is the way I wrote this show in my little notebook. Sitting by myself on the couch during the pandemic. And I've never been able to do it. But we're doing it tonight. With my very good friends. First, the furthest on the couch from me, Jimmy Alter. Hello. The guest of honor, Tosha Owens, and my co-producer, David Yurachek. All right, and this is the interview part of the show, so let's get on with it right now. Ms. Tosha Owens, yes. We've known each other for about 10 years.
At least.
So tonight we're going to find out a little bit more about you than just that you sing in the band.
Is that enough?
Let's go way back first, because everybody has like a moment, maybe way back, like maybe you were a kid, maybe you were singing at church, maybe it was at a birthday party. Was there a time like that you can think of where you thought, oh, this is kind of fun?
Yes. I would say my entire growing up was filled with that, because I was growing up a very shy person. Of course, you wouldn't know that. But I grew out of it, since then. But yeah, I grew up a very shy person, and I wouldn't talk, but I always communicated through music. So when we were doing whatever family function was going on, if there was music playing, if there was a radio on in the car, what have you, I knew every song that would come over the radio, no matter what station, because that was my form of communication. I wouldn't talk to you, but I could sing every song that came up.
And there were your family relatives were in the car listening?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yes.
And you were getting a little bit of feedback?
Yeah, they told me, what's this crazy child doing? Why doesn't she talk to people? And I wish I knew how to say, I'm not really good with people back then, but I didn't. I just kept singing. And coming from that, there's a couple incidences as a little girl, maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, when I used to sneak into the back seat of my brother's 72 Barracuda when I knew he was going to race, and then he would just start putting the radio on and turning it up, and then all of a sudden this wonderful voice came over the radio, and it was Miss Tina Marie. And from that moment, I started singing the songs, and then he would be driving. I'm in the back seat, and he turned the radio down. The song kept going, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I thought I turned it down." He goes, "Wait a minute, that's my sister singing it." So that's when the family knew I actually had talent. So
let's fast forward. I know that before the R&B stuff, you were doing the rock stuff,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And what was it? The name of that band was like Sticky Wicked or something?
Sticky Wicked, yes.
Sticky Wicked, okay. I just remember from the guitar player that we work with occasionally who talks about it occasionally.
Absolutely.
So the other thing I like, because I think about it for myself, and I told this on my channel before, what was the moment? Because there's a big difference. Everybody in this room here knows the difference between playing and singing around town and just having fun and doing it for a living.
Yes.
Those are very different animals, right?
Very different animals.
So, like, I remember it for me. So, what was the time on stage, or the gig, or the theater, or where you were, where you thought, oh yeah, I think this is going to be my thing. This is going to be what I do. And what made you think that?
I don't know of a specific time and date or event, but I do know that the transition was I was in Sticky Wicket for like 10 years. And mind you, our families were all really wonderful friends. Our kids grew up together. Great people. Love them forever and ever. And it was just a time that, these were great people. We were all in the same neighborhood, family folks. And, they went on to continue their family things. And I wanted to continue working. And it just so happened around that same time as when I met Big Al Gravovic. And he took me to a Sunday Night Jam at the Rusty Nail with Jim McCarty. So when I met Jim McCarty, I think hearing his praises of me singing, and by knowing who he was, kind of validated me wanting to do it professionally, and that I could, because somebody who already did it, who's already out there, has toured the world, knew Jimi Hendrix, is saying this about me. So that means it became a little bit bigger than me at that point. Yeah. So
one thing that I like about our little show and our little band is because we do so many styles during the show.
Yes.
And is we start the show out with a little bit with Susan Tedeschi, a blues tune, and we end the show with Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
And that does it for me. So my question to you is, so I know that where the rock stuff comes from, but when did you decide that you were going to kind of move over to the blues? Because that's a transition, and the chops aren't quite the same. It's a little bit different.
They are not quite the same. Having been a fan of the blues for many years, I understood and heard it, but I didn't try it until, again, that day meeting Jim McCarty. He was hosting a blues jam. And he says, Al says, I got a friend who could sing. And he says, okay, come on up there and sing. I go, well, I don't know any blues songs. I only know my rock band. I don't know anything blues. So McCarty looks at me and he goes, listen, I'm going to play and you're going to sing. And then my buddy Al goes, you don't tell Jim McCarty no. So I made up out of fear, 100% fear, some kind of 3-1-3 blues thing that day, and I was a born blues singer from that moment on. I studied, I went to follow him and meet all of the other blues cats in town, and I was in love. Yeah.
I know you do on Mondays occasionally. You do Satin Doll is the name of the show, and you play Etta James.
I portray Etta James, including the blonde wig.
So if you're in the Detroit area, folks, you need to check out. They do that every Monday, right, with different people, right?
It was every Monday, but it's intermittent now. I believe our final show is going to be August 11th.
All right, I got a question for Jimmy. Jimmy Alter, who I would consider sort of the music director of the Tosha Owens and the Stable Dudes, which is the name of the band. When did you meet? Because she was doing blues and rock, and when did you meet Tosha? Like, what, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 100 years ago?
No, probably about 12 now. 12, I think. Our buddy Jason Bone, Mr. J Bone, was hosting a Wednesday night blues jam at Kelly's in Hamtramck. And so I happened to be there with a coworker that night or something, and I knew some of those guys for a handful of months by that point, but was getting really excited about the blues scene around town, and then Tosha came into Kelly's that night, and I wept like a baby when I heard her. Yeah, here was like, you know what I mean. I grew up with like a mother that would drive me around like Tennessee to find Al Green's church, and a mother that would let me skip school to go meet B.B. King and things like that. So like the first time I heard Tosha, I was really excited, and I'm very fortunate that I get to work with her these days. Yeah.
So when was your first gig with her as a band member or partner?
It was serious. It was actually
Callahan's?
It was Callahan's.
All right.
I mean that was a big time gig for me at the time, for sure. Still to this day, I wish Callahan still existed. With Mr. Gabe Gonzalez on drums. I mean, monster band.
Monster. Pete on drummer.
Michelle Parker, I think, on bass, right? Yep. Michelle Parker on bass. Phil Hale on keys. Great set.
And
great.
You and Carlton.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, killer.
And how many years ago was that?
That was like 10.
Probably. 10 years ago.
So maybe 10 and a half. Yeah, the Callahan's thing spurred on Pub Froggy. I mean, Pub Froggy, we didn't think it was going to be that way, but it turned into a monster. It turned into a real monster. The first week I was there, I thought it looked like an old converted big boy. And I was like, what are we going to do with this place? And it turned into something. I mean, like, so many legends were there. I mean, like Terry Thunder, Waylon Dale, Thornetta celebrated a birthday there. James Cloyd,
Paul Carey, all of our greats, some that have gone before us now, have all graced the stage. We had the bass player from Stevie Wonder's band, Larry McCrae, Steve McCrae.
Yeah. You know what's awesome? I was actually thinking on the way here that like a lot of the songs that we do as the stable dudes with Tosha, there's big dynamic changes. And what's cool about the song that we are recording for the channel here is that it stays really low. I like it for that. I'm very excited for people to see that.
Yeah, it shows us in our Zen moment.
Yeah, it is. Like you've orchestrated a great tune.
Absolutely, which again shows another aspect of the band.
David Urachek, he's been quiet here for a moment, but I want to bring him in because, and I don't say this about everybody, but there are a lot of bass players who are guitar players who play bass. David Urachek is a bass player, and that's why I like working with Mr. Urachek, because we're a team when we play, and I don't get that with everybody. But I don't remember if you. Did you come through Bobby Murray? Bobby Murray, for those of you who don't know, was Etta James' guitar player for 26 years or something like that?
The last 23 years of her.
And he performs with Tosha, Etta James tribute and other things. And when did you get involved with Tosha? Was it through Ray or Bobby?
Well, that's a good question. Because I remember sitting here. You called me for the gig at the casino that was Ray Goodman's band.
Right.
And I remember sitting here.
Ray Goodman played with Mitch Ryder, just for the folks that don't know. And so Detroit has a lot of very famous people that are here. Jack White, all sorts of people are from this area, live in this area, Motown, all that stuff. Go ahead.
No, I forgot. I remember spending December 30th, December 31st, January 1st, and January 2nd in this basement, sitting right there, learning all the tunes for the casino gig with Tosha. Was that before Bobby Murray? I don't know. They kind of happened at the same.
Were you already working with Bobby Murray at the time?
I worked with Bobby Murray starting in 2009.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, having done both and doing both, do you like both? And you can be a little technical here because we get a lot of musicians that watch my channel, even people in Moscow. It really does happen, yeah. So, what's the difference in the chop? Maybe we'll take the break and we'll answer it. The difference in the chop, the difference in so when you're singing "Rather Go Blind,"
right,
or you're singing the Immigrant Song,
right,
or you're singing the Black Crowes tune, listen to the Scene Things, right, with us, or one of your own tunes, vocally for you. What's harder? What's more fun?
Okay.
What do you like? Do you like them all? And what is the technical chop you have to use to make it happen?
Great questions.
We'll come back and answer that in a second. Having fun yet? I am. That's right. Quick. Don't think about it. You need to see that unedited interview, the full video. Just send that $3 donation. Can you send more? Sure you can, as much as you'd like. Send it to PayPal or Venmo, to Glenn Drums, like it's listed here, and then send me an email to that email address saying, I just sent you that donation for that unedited interview, and I will send you the link, the private link. Stay to the end of this video and see that tune, see our version of I Want You Back. It's cool. And then send me $5 donation to the same PayPal or Venmo address. Glenn Drums right here. Can you send more? Sure you can. Sure you can. And in the email, just say, hey, I just sent you a whole lot of money. Send me that MP3. Send me it right now so I can listen to that MP3 while I'm taking the kids to school or whatever you're doing. So, do it. Support Detroit local musicians. Do it. Back to Tosha.
Okay? Do it. Do it.
Wow, okay. Those are a lot of questions, but very, very valid and great questions. So, the different chops that I think I use, like going from one to another, is they are different. They're all different. As opposed to going towards something very soft and very pretty, and then going to something very hard. It's a matter of using your head voice in the proper way, and everybody knows that's the one that's kind of up here, and then versus your chest voice, which is all the strength and power coming from the diaphragm. So that's where my powerful notes come from. They come from down there. Now the higher notes come from my head voice, which are fueled by the other one. Like I'm doing but I can do it like now with nothing, like versus You see the difference in that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
That was a little bit of the immigrant song.
a little bit of the immigrant song, but then and then I kind of use that a little bit, bring a little bit of rock to my blues because it's so closely related. Like I'd rather go blind. Something told me instead of the pretty. Something told me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of have to put my own twist on it. And I think that's how I choose songs.
Well,
I choose songs
I've
that I
heard
can
just a
do
little
that.
bit of Janis Joplin.
A
in your
lot of
style.
bit
A
of
lot of it,
Janis.
yeah. And All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Alter, the guitar player and music director for Tosha Owens and the Stable Dudes. David Urachek, one of my favorite bass players in town. Myself, I'm the drummer, you know me. And of course, the star of the show. And stay tuned for the tune that's coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, Tosha Owens.
Thank you. See you soon. Unique.
One, two, three, four.
When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always make you stand out in a crowd. Someone picked you from the bunch. One glance was all it took.